Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, because you're always looking for and finding the good, you found good in abundance because you conscientiously tuned into Eye on Las Vegas with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy. And you tuned in one reason only. It's the best reason in the whole world. Because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U. And that's great. Because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And you're going to be well rewarded today. We have a fantastic guest that's going to share with you insights that are going to make you happier, healthier, wealthier. Who doesn't want that? Now, before we bring on wonderful Marty, I just want to mention that I live in Henderson, Nevada, which is just 20 minutes away from the Strip. Whenever I mention Las Vegas to people, they lean in, open up their eyes and their ears. They say, tell me more. Well, let me tell you something about amazing Las Vegas. Gambling, sex, okay, of course, that's almost anywhere. And here in big time. However, the essence of Las Vegas is about energy. It's about enthusiasm, about building things. And that's why you're going to meet a great energetic builder today. Let me tell you one other little data point that's so fascinating, so wonderful. If you take the entire population of New York City and all the people live around the entire population of Chicago and everybody around the entire population of Los Angeles, everybody around it, and you throw in the entire population of the state of Florida, it doesn't equal the number of people that come to Las Vegas in a year. 41 million people come to Las Vegas in a given year. You know why? Because it's a place that's pulsating with energy. It's the entertainment capital of the world. It's a sports capital. And things are happening here. There's nobody that I want to share with you. The more happening person than amazing, wonderful, fabulous Marty Hofmann. Marty, please say hello to 513,927 people around the world.
Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to be on Barry's show. This is so exciting.
Well, first of all, those of you who are listening, you heard this great, strong, upbeat voice. And I urge you sometime, because you have the recording, watch it as well, because he's a great view. He's just a good guy. And I'm going to tell you 3 wonderful things about Marty, then we're going to jump right into stuff. Number one is that he's smart enough to learn from his mistakes. He has made some mistakes and he's built himself up to have a real estate empire. Multiple millions of dollars. He's going to share with us some of the ways to do that. Number 2, he is the advocate of what I love most about him, which is called killing complacency.
Amen. Preach it.
That's going to keep you, rob you of what your birthright is. And the most important thing about Marty, happily married for 20 years to the same woman named Ginger, and he has 6 children. That's the best about why I love Marty Hofmann. So Marty, welcome. Let's just jump right in and talk about your focus in life, which is helping as many people as you can with what I call intentional living. So let's talk about that. Just jump right in, start the ball rolling.
Yeah. So Barry, I grew up in Iowa, just a farm kid, regular farm kid, nothing too special. And I started getting into real estate and I started making a lot of money and realized that if I could do this, anyone could do this. So we came up with a slogan, kill complacency, because complacency is the enemy of intentionality. And with intentionality, we can get whatever we want in life. I truly believe that. You just reverse engineer it and you go after it. You show up consistently and do the boring thing, and you can have the world. And so complacency is the enemy of intentionality. We created that, and our goal on our podcast and through our book is to allow the listener to become the hero of their own story by living the intentional life. So that's what we're all about. And
okay, you just heard everybody. Now, again, we have people listening from all over the world, Marty, and I have mentioned this for the past number of years. We want people to do 2 things. We want you to share this with 5 people. You want to share with 50 or 100? That's great also. At least 5 people. That way we'll touch 2.5 million people. The other thing is, recognize that everything that Marty's going to say, that don't write down, don't take notes. The reason we record this is so you can come back again and listen at your own pace and pause and listen and make notes and do things. And that's the winners. Out of the 500,000 plus people and the 2.5 million that are going to be touched, the winners will listen the second time. Yes. And the ones who will win the most in life will go back and watch it and listen a third time. When you do that, you have separated yourself. You have done what Marty just said, intentional living. Mm-hmm. You have proved complacency. And by definition, you'll be the hero of your own story. So let's continue and go really deep, Marty, because that's really why you're here. We've talked about this off air and such. Let's talk about the $150,000 wake-up call you had.
So that wasn't honestly that long ago. And that's the worst part. And that's, I guess, something else to understand about complacency is you don't get a kill at one time. Like those cookies on the counter are always calling your name. And so it's a continual battle and it's a continual killing of complacency because it's the enemy. So that story that you mentioned is in my book. And yeah, we were doing well in real estate. We hired a couple guys, and we were going to scale it. And we took our foot off the gas. We got complacent and we quit paying attention to the market. We quit paying attention to projects. And lo and behold, before we knew it, my business partner and I were having a meeting and we said, we're $150,000 in the hole. And we had three houses to finish. And we'd already taken the money from those houses and spent them. And so, yeah, it was hard, Barry, because
you were in a very difficult position.
Very, and we did it to ourselves out of complacency. Because and I think that's one of the enemies. You know, we go for success, but one thing you don't realize about success is as you climb to success, complacency is still there, and you think you're out of it. You can plateau, you can let off. It's a bigger enemy, and it's going to get you.
Okay, so, I want to unpack something here because you mentioned another C word, which is the antidote to complacency. You mentioned it. Consistency. Mm-hmm. Now, if you were to ever meet, and we're talking about the world now, everybody listening and sharing, if you were ever to meet a successful athlete, forget about investing money, a successful athlete, to a person, man or woman, they will tell you that if you want to be what you envision yourself to be, it is a daily routine. It's not 5 days a week, not even 6 days. It's 7 and 24. Because the 24 part comes mental.
Yes. The
7 comes physical. Something that the physical being and the soul needs to do. Am I correct on that?
You are 100%. I mean, whether it's basketball and making three throws, what is it? Like Steph Curry's makes like 500 free throws before 7 a.m. or something. I don't know the stats, but it's out there. Like Michael Jordan, that's what he did. He showed up consistently. He did the things. Track stars. Michael Phelps, they say Michael Phelps separated himself as an Olympian because he worked out 7 days a week and everyone else was doing 6. So he got an extra work in. It's 50 workouts a year. Like, it's the consistency, and that consistency, that boring stuff we have to do adds up. Now, the opposite is also true, Barry, because if we do the wrong thing consistently, it adds up.
I was hoping you would talk about that because let's be blunt. There's a very famous book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in the book, and it's not just a great book, it is an important book to internalize, utilize, and leverage in life. So he writes there that you can have your ladder against the wall and be climbing the ladder, and you get to a certain point and you recognize, I got my ladder on the wrong wall, right? So I want to go back to what happened with you, with your partner, and you're in the hole for 150 grand. Now let's be blunt. It's not chump change. Everybody listening around the world, unless you're a billionaire, by the way, recognize maybe even more so that every dollar matters. When you're down 150, what did you do?
You know, we had to let people go. And that's the hard part about this. And that's the hard part about consequences to complacency is it affects other people. It doesn't just affect me. So we had to have some hard conversations. We had to let people go. It affected families. And then we had to come back in and take back over and control. We had to cut costs. We had to figure out how to make products get stretched. And also, Barry, we had some hard conversations with the bank. Like we need some money, and what can you do? And they're saying, well, we gave you money. And so there was some friction there. And, but it was a lot of creativity. It was a lot of loss of sleep. It was thinking and stress. But it was all a result of the complacency and lack of intentionality. And it was, ultimately that's what we did. We let people go. We had 2 houses. We had a whole bunch because we flip houses all the time. We had a whole bunch of leftover paint, and I'm not kidding. We mixed the paint together and we painted the outside a certain color and the inside a certain color. You would never know.
Okay, I am so happy to hear what we're talking about, and you're laughing now because you made it through.
Yeah.
Here's another C word that can help battle complacency, because you mentioned it: creativity.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, when you're in a place where the famous line, rock in a hard place, when you're in a place where it doesn't look like it's possible, well, guess what happens? It becomes possible.
Yeah.
Creativity, because the good Lord made you in such a way, makes human beings capable, is another good C word, capable of being creative and saying, well, what can we do?
Yes.
And you did. And hard conversations are hard, aren't they, Marty?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did it cause stress at home?
No. There was obviously I was stressed, but I really tried to not take it home. I kind of learned that, but I don't want to say it didn't. I just tried to not let it be as bad at home.
So there's another wonderful muscle, the ability to compartmentalize, another great C word. And when you can do that, guess what can happen? Because Tony Robbins speaks about this. The ability to compartmentalize and recognize that which you can tackle, you do. That which you can't, you don't. Now that is genius. Now, obviously, if you had your druthers, you probably would have said at some point, well, I'd rather not be in this situation, and I wouldn't have wanted to be creative and such. And yet the benefit came of recognizing you became complacent, you got whacked by it,
yep,
made it through. So you became stronger because of it. Isn't that true?
Yes. And something else I guess I left out that we did is we have rentals as well. And we had certain houses we wanted to sell. Well, we just didn't sell them. And we just said, we're going to rent these out. So talking about making us stronger, it made us stronger in the long haul because our portfolio grew. It just wasn't plan A. And we put tenants in there, and then they made our payments, which now we weren't getting sucked dry every month on vacancies. So to your point, yes, our creativity actually made us stronger because we had to do something. And now we have these rentals that maybe we'll sell at some point, but they're great rentals. So.
Oh, this is so wonderful. Well, at this point, we're not complacent. We have sponsors that love our show, and we wouldn't have them on if we didn't vet them and think they were worthy of your time and attention. So we're going to be right back with more Marty Hofmann and killing complacency right after this brief message. Don't go away. Opportunity. What an opportunity. I'm going to use 2 4-letter words right now. Free gift. Free gift. Yes. You can have a copy of my best-selling book, The Joy of Living, How to Slay Stress and Be Happy, the ebook version for absolutely free. All you have to do is send an email to me, Barry, Barry, at barryshore.com, and in the heading, the subject line, just write, free gift. It's as easy as that. This is a life-changing, life-enhancing opportunity. Barry at barryshore.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Free gift. Do it now. Take the action. Make it happen right now. Best wishes. Bye. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Marty Hofmann, and he is the preacher of Kill Complacency. He has a great book about it. Well, we're going to talk about that right now. Let's just jump right back in because we went through the tough time, the 150, down to the hole, hard conversations, becoming creative, made it through. I need you to share with us all why success without intentionality is what you call, and I love it, sophisticated slavery. I'll repeat it again. Why success without intentionality is really just sophisticated slavery. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're just a slave to success. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're achieving it for. You don't understand your why, and you're just building for the sake of building. And you're stuck. Maybe you're not in the rat race of paycheck to paycheck, but you're stuck in this system of achievement without true meaning and true purpose.
So the why. You mentioned you grew up in Iowa, and we talked about one other piece that I want to really mention here. You were a youth pastor?
Yep, for 8 years.
Okay, we have, again, worldwide audience. People, we get emails from the Congo, from Baluchistan, from all over the world. What does it mean to be a youth pastor?
So it means that I oversaw the youth of a church. So instead of like there's the pastor who preaches to the whole church, my ministry, my scope of work was to the junior high and high school kids. And that was in a little church, little town in Montana. I was the first guy to ever be a youth pastor there. So I got to set the precedence on what a youth pastor looked like. But it was fun. And it was really my first mentorship, first opportunity to mentor people and pour into them some of these things.
So I'm going to posit the following, because you were given the opportunity. I don't know if you volunteered, somebody tapped you on the shoulder. The good Lord came into your mind one day and said, but get your butt over there, Marty, and tell the pastor that you're willing to be the youth pastor. The ability to help others, in my humble opinion, is the sign of a winner. Would you think that's true?
Yeah, Zig Ziglar talked about that. If you want to be successful, then find people to serve. And it's all over. And for me, I can tell you, Barry, that I learned this early on as a youth pastor. I learned that my most discouraged days, my most depressed days were my days off when I was supposed to be focused on me. And my best days, my days that made me the most joy and happiness was when I was reaching out and serving others. And so I truly believe that God made us that way for a reason and a purpose. And when we are inward focused and focused on us, like that's when we have all kinds of mental issues and struggles and problems.
Okay, we love acronyms and words and such. And our acronym for the word hope, which is what you're all about. This is what you're talking about. Are we not? Are we not talking about hope? Hope stands for helping others progress every day. Isn't that what Kill Complacency and what your life is about, you and Ginger and the kids? It's living the life so that other people can see without saying, hey, look at us, but just what you're doing by killing complacency, living with intentionality, and knowing your why. And if anybody asks you, well, you're willing to tell them, just like now. And again, I am so happy that you are joining us and sharing this, because one of the things that I talk about is that everybody in the world wants to come to America. However, you don't have to come to America to have an American mindset. The American mindset is what you're talking about, what you're preaching. Is that fair to say?
I hope so. I want it to be so. America is known for capitalism, which is about serving others. That's how you become successful.
If you hear nothing else on this show, it may be nothing else for the next week. Did you hear what he said? What is the definition of capitalism? Serving others. He didn't say make a lot of money. He didn't say build portfolio. He didn't even say be happy. The role of capitalism is service. That is the word. And it's built on Judeo-Christian values. It's built on the ability to channel that so that when you are serving others, by definition, you become what we call a cog. Now, a cog, sometimes people think is a small piece in a big machine, right? A cog stands for channel of goodness, child of God. And that's what you're doing, right? Now, talk to us about your book. What is the book that you have? And what is your, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, your OKC, Ocracy.
Oh, Oklahoma City RIA. Yeah. So the book is, it's called Kill Complacency. And an acronym we use for KILL is Keep Improving, Live Larger.
Woo! Wait a minute. See, he's an acronym, man.
Yeah.
Keep improving, live larger.
Yep. That's what happens when you kill.
By the way, if you want, Marty, we can come up with a acronym for complacency. But we'll discuss later. Because
yeah. It's a long one, though. I mean, acronyms are best when they're 4-letter words, aren't they?
Right. 4 letters, we can all work with that.
But the book is about, I mean, what I realized, Barry, is what happens. A lot of people will, and I've seen my friends do this. So you mentioned a little bit of the OKC RIA. That's a real estate meetup. And so a specific example would be, I have friends who ultra successful real estate investors, but all they know how to do is their finances, and they're wealthy, but they're empty. And so the book is about, there's 7 F's that we built from: faith, which is your foundation that everything flows from; family, that's your first legacy. They deserve your best, so don't give them your leftovers. Your fitness, your body's your vehicle, so learn to maintain it. Finances, money is a tool for impact, not a source for stress. It shouldn't be stressful. If we make it impact, our why is changed, and instead of worried about it, it becomes impact. We've got friends in there. Iron sharpens iron. So your circle determines your direction. Future self, which is your everyday decision today, is either building him or he's destroying him. And then fun, which is the one I struggle with. And fun is just, without it, nothing is sustainable. So that's what the book's about. It's about building off of those 7 F's, trying to be balanced, or as balanced as you can be, but living a legacy within these things. So we're not just wealthy, or we're not just fit, or we're not just
they need to be integrated.
Correct.
And so I like each one of them. I want to mention to you an acronym for the word faith. I think you might like this: finding answers in the highest.
I'm going to use
when
that.
you talk about that circle of friends, people who listen regularly, and I'm humbled and honored to say over 500,000, and people coming by the tens of thousands every month and so, is what we call YAW. Y-A-W. I learned this from a friend of mine who was on the Ohio State football team, one of the greatest in America, and he had the most famous coach. He talked about YAW. YAW stands for you are who you associate with. Your circle of friends really is one of the most important aspects of who you are and how you live. So I will make a statement. Actually, it's a question, but I think I'm going to make it as a statement. I'd be willing to wager that you and Ginger and the 6 kids associate with people pretty much who are married with children.
Yep.
And have faith.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you have to have 6 kids. Doesn't mean you have to live, married for 20 years. The point of married, or striving to be married, and building a home, building a household, right? That's your circle of friends. Isn't that correct?
Yes. Yep. And what's that famous quote? You'll be the same today or in 5 years from now, except for the people you meet and the books you read, right? So the impact of our friends is huge. because they're an influence. And so, yeah, you got to lean in. You got to make sure your friends are in alignment with where you want to go. And
I want everybody to hear this. Aligned with where you
Mhm.
want to go. So if you have, first of all, you talk about alignment. Second of all, you said where you want to go. So you are challenging people, Marty,
Yeah.
millions of them, to say, wait a minute, this guy's talking about intentional living. Does that mean I have to have a goal? I have to have a place I want to go to. I have to think about it. I have to visualize. I have to write it down. And I think you're going to say the answer is yes. Is that correct?
Yes. Otherwise, you're just drifting. You don't know where you're going. And drift, here's one for you. Default results in forgotten time. And when we drift through life, that's what we do. We just go to default and we lose time. We miss out because life just happens. And pretty soon you're old and you're gray and you don't have anybody around you. So we don't want to drift.
No.
We got to set that goal, set it high, and try to get it.
And it's all built around kill complacency.
Yes. That's the enemy.
Right. Okay. Oh, by the way, very important in life. If you don't know who your friends are and your circle of friends, then you're not going to have a grouping that's going to help you improve. And if you don't know who the enemy is, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It is a daily thing. So let's go over again. Tell them, what does KILL stand for? Because here's the great news. KILL sounds like, ah! And you, Marty, are making it, wowee. I want to do that. What does KILL stand for?
KILL stands for keep improving, live larger.
Keep improving, live larger.
Yes. That's what we want to do, right?
Well,
just 1% every day, get a little better and live larger because of it. I don't want to be the same guy in 5 years from now. I want to be somebody bigger, better, a better version of myself.
Again, it's the American mindset. You don't have to physically, geographically be in the United States of America to think this way. This is what, as Marty, I am so indebted to you, because this is what you've given us, the world. Capitalism, actually, capitalism equals service.
Mm-hmm.
When you have this this intention in living to be of service, to be a channel of goodness, guess what happens? It will happen.
Yeah.
It can't happen any other way, by the way. I think you'll agree with this. It's a law of the universe called the law of attraction. You will attract to you that which you think about, speak about, act upon. Is that correct?
Yes, preach. Yeah.
It's a law.
Write it down. Read it every day. Go after it. Make it happen.
Oh, I love it. Now, Marty, I have to tell you, I created a little bit of an acronym for your name during the break. Can I share it with you?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, Marty is spelled Marty. Making awareness rewarding, transforming.
Ooh.
Making awareness rewarding, transforming you. Do you like it?
I do.
It's yours. I share it with you willingly. Oh, this is just so much fun. The one of the F's. So I am loath to say the words I'm about to say, Marty. We're coming to a close in our time together today. I have 3 quick questions for you. You ready?
Yep.
Number 1, will you come back again?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, very good. Number 2, Marty Hofmann, you have 80 seconds only to answer this. What is your most fervent desire?
My most fervent desire would be to leave an impact in the world and to make it a better place. I don't want to, I want to make an impact. I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about others. I want my obituary to talk about that, to state that Marty lived an intentional life of service to others for impact.
Thank you, Marty. And number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 519,822 people around the world?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
That's good.
Remember, you're listening to Eye on Las Vegas with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy, amazing Marty Hofmann. Kill complacency. And we're going to share a blessing from Marty and Barry. Our blessing for you is go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Marty, don't go away.